So, hi there, I'm Akib, and today we'll be creating an ETL pipeline using Apache Airflow for a weather analysis platform with the help of OpenWeatherAPI. So, first off, I will be demonstrating the process using WSL and Ubuntu, but this is not the only way you can do it. You can also use S3 buckets and EC2 instances and other form of platforms which you can try if you're interested in later on. Alright, then let's get to it. So, initially, we have to open Windows PowerShell. We have to write as an administrator, and then over here you just gotta install Ubuntu and with this command. uh, Ubuntu will be installed momentarily. It usually takes a few minutes or so, but since I already have Ubuntu installed, I'll just go ahead and open it up, and this will be our terminal that we work on. So first off, let's make sure that all of the packages are up to date with this command. So as you can see, it didn't even take that long for me because I've already done it before. And then next up will be installing Python. Um, we'll be adding the repository where the original Python documentation is stored so that we can get it from there directly. And for this particular project, we will be installing a separate version of Python called Python 3 because our latest version is not really compatible with Apache Airflow. So, yeah. So as you can see, it's already installed. We can just verify the version, the exact version by doing this. And yeah, as you can see, it's Python 3.0. Now we should we should create a virtual environment so that we can get our ETL up and running and our pipeline and Airflow. So yeah, let's get to it. I'll be calling Weatherflow because it's a unique integration I came up with the API and Airflow. Basically combine them together and you get Weatherflow. Now that we created a environment, we should just activate it using this command here. And now, as you can see, we have Weatherflow over here with our domain name. So that means that our environment has been activated. So now we will be introducing some variable names. I have copied it because it's convenient for me. And basically, these are variables defining the versions. Uh, that makes it easier to extract the packages and the metadata from the GitHub where Apache Airflow is. We are basically trying to install Apache Airflow over here, and it didn't even take that long because I have already installed it. So now we have installed Airflow. We should just export it right here to our ENV. And now I'm going to initialize the database so that we can get all of our work done. Okay. Okay, now that we have initialized our database, we just have to create a user to access the database. And I already had created a user, but I'll demonstrate how we create it again. You just have to enter your details, replace your details over here, and then you will be prompted with the password. And even though you type the password, you won't be able to see it, so don't worry about that. And that's where a lot of people make errors. You can just type something and type the same thing again, and you're right. Now that we have created a user, our airflow is basically ready and we can start it. So we'll be using port 8080, and let's use it. And our airflow will be starting, our pipeline will be starting shortly. And while that's happening, you can just open a new terminal up, and let's activate our environment again using these commands. Yeah, and we're in. All right, now you can just open up any browser, and you can type http localhost 8080. You go there, and I have already logged in, but it will basically ask you to log in. You just enter your username and password, and these are that this is our deck files, and you can see all of the stuff. So that's basically that. Yeah, and now we go back to our environment. So now what we have to do is we have to create a deck file, right? So let's get to it. Okay, that's basically it. And now we open up a new terminal. For this is where we'll basically be creating our deck files. And so what I did there previously was just ensuring port our local host was running correctly, because I forgot to uh, actually enter a scheduler in there before I ran it. So yeah, and now we'll get to working on our deck files. We have to activate our environment again, and we've done this several times, so we should be used to it by now. I'll be making a directory for the deck files. Yeah. All right, and we'll be accessing the directory over here. So yeah, that was a command error. It's actually not error. Created. All right, so basically this is where we created a deck file. I've created it previously, so I'll just go there and copy the entire code and just paste it over here. And this is where you can see our entire code, basically all of the required imports and my customized API key. You can get your own API key by visiting this website called OpenWeatherAPI, and you can generate as many as you want, but it has 100 calls per hour. That's the limit it has. So, and the city I'll be retrieving information is from Colombo, and these are my personal information. So this is our basic ETL pipeline. We have extract, the function extract, transform, and load. We'll be dealing with JSON file where the data will be initially extracted in JSON format and then transformed into key value pairs and then loaded into our output file. So and then we have the scheduler over here where it will trigger hourly, and it'll all happen hourly. So yeah, and then we can just Run this. You can save this. So that's basically the entire pipeline, and now we know how to create an ETL pipeline and how to use it using Apache Airflow. And thanks for watching.